Hello and welcome. George Schlackeck here. So I had this thought over the weekend when for some reason I was looking at Edmonton's crime rates, and I seen that year over year, and don't quote me on that, could have been last year's, could have been whatever, I don't think there's even a year mentioned, the crime rate in Edmonton went down by 11%. Edmonton, usually when it comes to overall crime in Canada, is always at the upper end, kind of. Not the worst city in Canada, but it's not too far from it. So now a decline of 11% year over year, that'd be awesome, right? But I have some questions about that. First of all, the crime that appears in those statistics, I'm assuming, could only be the crime that has actually been reported. One of the highest sort of crimes in Edmonton is crimes against property. It's not necessarily always violent crime or murder or things like that, but crimes against property, damaging property, stealing stuff. For crying out loud, I had my pickup truck stolen here almost 2 years ago. Recently, I read a Facebook post by a friend who had his bicycle stolen. Bicycle and trailer. It's his transportation to work. There's a picture there and a request for people to keep an eye out for this bike. Then it says underneath there, there's no police report. And that is because he tried to report it. I'm not sure if it was on phone or online. Probably both. Online it times out. They give you so much time, and then, for some reason, you don't get to the end. It happens over and over again. When you do it by the phone, it's hard to get through. I've experienced this myself. When the truck got stolen, I had to report this. I mean, this was so important, I couldn't let it go unreported, but reporting it on the phone turned out to be impossible. Like you couldn't even get through. My thought about this was, well, I have to go to the police station and report this in person right there. Yeah, and guess what happened there? They told me, no, unfortunately, we're not set up for this. So you have to go and phone this and this number and report it there. And guess what? Exact same number. So I got kind of angry at them because it's not that I hadn't tried. You know, half a day was already passed, and you're kind of at Schitt's Creek's end, or whatever you call that. You're on the dead end. You can't report it, but you have to. So eventually then the police officers, they saw that I was really irritated, and there was two of them there with basically, I don't know what they were doing, but they didn't look too busy. So one of them finally volunteered to call this line for me, found out that he couldn't get through, but then eventually I got some assistance, and that's why there was a police report about having my truck stolen. Now, how useful this was, I don't know, but at least there's a report number, so I was able to give that to the insurance company, which didn't pay for anything anyways because I hadn't paid for theft insurance, but that's besides the point. My point here is, and I'm asking all of you because I know that many of you are watching from different cities, even different countries. Do you think it could be a strategy of the local police force to achieve lower crime rates by making it extremely difficult for people to report crime? Crimes against property in particular. I mean, basically, nobody got physically hurt, nobody died, something went missing, something is damaged, somebody's gonna have to pay something out of their pocket or whatever. So let's just make sure this doesn't get reported every single time. So then the crime rate will look artificially low, which is better than having it look extremely high. Or am I just out of my mind? Is this something that the police or the strategists or whoever manages the city would never do? Where I come from, this would not be the right thing to do, and my automatic assumption would be that no, they will make it as easy as possible to report these things so that it all does get reported and something can actually be done about solving the problem in the first place, like an excessive crime rate. Just a short thought. Leave me your comments, and yeah. Oh, and you could subscribe to my channel if you don't mind. And I'll see you in the next video. I got more stuff coming. Not about this though.